Hello, everyone.
Hey everyone.
So, welcome to another episode of the 2026 Fix with me, Mel.
And me, Rita.
So, Rita, what do you want to talk about? Yeah, reference to Cody Rhodes here.
Yeah, WWE, by the way, for those who
don't know. Why wouldn't you know? Anyway.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about
Boundaries. Yeah, absolutely. So, how
Mel,
do you set boundaries?
Okay.
I'm asking you first. You can ask
She
me
got in there first. How do I set boundaries? By saying no.
No.
Yeah, I think it's how do I set boundaries? It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
And I think it's also being aware of what's important to me, my values, my pillars.
Yeah.
And what I'm being asked of, and if it goes against my pillars and my values.
It's a good point that you've mentioned pillars, because it's something that is not always discussed, and obviously with our own mentors, because a mentor needs a mentor. We obviously learn about these pillars. So obviously for me, it's going to be my faith, my family, it's the finances. And also we're looking at freedom as well. Freedom is one of my pillars, being able to be flexible and open to choose what I do when I would like to do it without having to compromise.
And one more you've missed there.
Family. No, I said
health.
Family. Oh yeah, health. Yeah, fitness, health. Absolutely. Yeah. So exactly that. And again, both me and you are pretty good with our morning workouts, and if that gets infringed upon, then our day won't even go well.
And obviously starting the day with
prayer. Exactly. So prayer. For me, if again, because I wake up quite early to pray, that if that is something that I have to then no, I'm not going to do it. It's as simple as and because that point in time, that connection with God is very, very, very important, because I won't be here without him. So exactly that. Your pillars is kind of the guidance, or I guess for those of you that are familiar with business talk, is your governance, the stuff that you need, the stuff that grounds you.
Yeah, it's values.
Yeah.
Everybody really needs their values, and unfortunately there are many people
that don't have
when you ask them what are your values, they look at you with a blank look. And it's like, well, what are they? What should they be? And it's like, it's not what I think they should be, it's what you think they should be. What are they?
That's a really good point, because in actual fact, because we're both mentors and consultants and educators in this, especially in this field, we don't have your answers. We will help you get to your answers, but we cannot give you the answer. So in actual fact, you have to find your own boundaries in that sense. Lunch hours is a boundary, making sure you've got that hour spare to actually eat something decent, and also take a break, take a brain rest from what you're doing. I think for me, that's a huge importance, so that you can become refreshed when you go back to your your day to day.
And also your brain gets so over consumed with taking in data, as well as your own thoughts lurking in the background while you're taking in data,
and general chit chat and conversation.
And then also the added factor of how many of us, when we're working, actually put our phones to one side and do not ever look at it during a working day. None of us.
Exactly.
So you're taking in what's going on social media, as well as all of that. Where's your mind boundary? Where does the mind get time to breathe?
Yeah, it's a well-being boundary as well as just like a to-do boundary. And it's quite and I think that this topic is really appropriate, because there was at one point, we have this thing, and I guess coming from that film Yes Man, you're saying yes to everything. Now, I'm not saying don't say yes to everything, because saying yes does open up a lot of opportunities, but if it's sacrificing your energy, like complete energy, where, you know, you're going to be pulled from pillar to post and you're not going to have time with your loved ones, time for yourself, time with God, time to even eat, excuse me, but time to even sleep
or even cough
because we're on this podcast. And how terrible of me that I'm coughing on a podcast. That's not normal standard, is it? But anyway, don't worry about it.
Yeah, but it's like, it's your health. You need to
I'm human. I need to cough. Okay, no, I don't have COVID. Okay, so on that note, it's like, you know, if we don't have those boundaries set, we are going to obviously overconsume. So whilst I'm not saying you don't have to say no all the time, but if it affects your pillars, it affects your values, that is time to say no. So you're not saying no to everything, you're just saying no to the things that go against your values.
And I think also on that, it's when you want to make a change in life that you're like, yeah, it's going to be right for me to make a change, but then others don't expect that change from you and try to keep you where you're at and where you've always been. And so it's like, no, you don't want to do that, or why do that now, kind of thing.
Do you know what? Go ahead, finish your point, and I'll come in with mine.
I'm just saying that there's a boundary there, because internally you really want to make that change because you know it's good for you, but someone else can pull that away from you and say, no, you know, kind of like encroach their opinion and what they expect of you, that it overrides
your boundary
of what you would actually like to change.
Yeah. And you know what, on that, you just triggered something, because recently I've had to make significant changes, A, for more flexibility, B, also because obviously certain personal circumstances have come up that I've had to become more flexible. And actually, thanks to God, it's provided me to say, actually, Mel, there's going to be certain points in the year where you're going to need much more freedom. Now, when you've just said that, I actually did feel that even if it weren't for the person, like, I needed a reason to become more flexible. And even though personal situations have occurred that have caused it, but even if I wanted to make that change without the personal circumstance, because that was something eventually I was looking to do, was to become more flexible and have elements of more freedom in my year, then I would have been, I mean, I would have been judged to have made that decision. Or it would have been like, oh, but can you really do it? Or do you think that's wise to do? And in actual fact, people's opinions can actually cause you to lessen your values and your boundaries, because what they think makes you think low of yourself,
or
changes
maybe
your thinking.
Or maybe, you know, I'm silly for making that change. I'll just leave it as
I'll do the same as everyone else, because everyone else is doing it. And that
breaks your boundaries, because you end up not having that boundary of something you would like to change, and you just go along with someone else. So really, then
you end up people pleasing.
And then you end up living what they want. And it's like, well, where are you?
Yeah. And even if things do change, you also find that you're having to say, oh, but I need to make sure that they're happy with that decision.
And you
know, why? It's my
it's like
decision.
Almost kind of defending what decision you want to do.
And it's your life.
You've got to have a reason to do it.
I absolutely love that, because that's where we end up saying, oh, I'm going to create, you know, I've got my boundaries, I've got my values. But then as soon as people stick their 2 cents in, that's when we start to then devalue ourselves and unset the boundary. And then you start to then say, oh, okay, is that what you think of me? Or should I be doing it this way? Because
who am I to have boundaries?
Yeah, or who am I to have, you know, or want better for my life?
Yeah.
So this is actually a really huge topic, and I think it's probably going to be quite a long one here, guys. So for you like, that are listening, get comfortable. Maybe pause for a bit, grab yourselves a coffee or a tea, and sit back down and listen to the rest. I don't know if it'll be that long, but
we're going to stop now.
We'll probably stop now and say bye. But it is that point, and I think that is I think you just hit it from what you just said. You end up pleasing other people or devaluing your boundaries or devaluing your principles and pillars because of what other people would expect of you. And I also think age has got a factor in as well.
Yeah, especially if
you're middle-aged,
if you've been doing the regular thing with those either friends, family, partners, or whatever for so long, and then later on in life you want to make that change, and they're like, why? You've always been happy doing it this way. Why all
you've
of a sudden?
Been happy for me to do it that way.
But then you don't explain that. It's like, well, no, now I am connecting, I don't know, to something I need to change for myself, either to do with your health or to do with career, whatever it might be. And you're finding it hard to explain yourself because then you don't rationalize and think, well, I have been like this for so long, so what's the point in changing now?
And then you'll end up thinking that you should go back into what you were doing before. It's crazy how I also think it's a skill of manipulation in one way, because people can get you to think just because they can't see it from a certain angle, rather than encourage you and say, do you know what, let's see how it goes, I'll be really excited for you. At the same time, they're saying, oh, but is it really going to work? Don't worry, you can always come back. That sort of thing. They'll say these little things, and I think that's probably the worst thing you could ever say to anyone who's trying to make a change or create a boundary for a better way of living.
So I think really, I mean, okay, Mel, what do you think? I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay, let's get deep.
Well, I don't know if it's a deep question. There you go. Do you think that if you're making a change, that you should say to someone, especially that person who you regularly, I don't know, socialize with or you connect with, to tell them that you want to make a change because of such and such reason? Or do you think you should do it quietly and implement it bit by bit?
Never tell anyone. Go and do it. I wouldn't tell. You're different because we're of a similar mindset, so you'll know what I'm looking to do. Like, I would obviously consult with you because we've got this similarity. But if someone,
but not twins.
But for someone who regularly socialize with, no, I won't tell them the idea. I'll just go in and do it because it's because I don't want someone to deter me from it. And I think that's always been my thing. If I want to go and fly a plane, I didn't ask, oh, can I go and fly a plane? What do you think about this? No, I saw the red letter day and I went and booked it, and it was like, all right, done. Doing it this year. I've got to wait till it's better weather, and that's when I'm going to do it. Again, leaving the 9 to 5, it was like, no, I have to do it because this is what I need to do.
But then
I did it. I didn't give the idea.
You did mention it before.
I mentioned it to you.
The confirmed date wasn't confirmed as to, okay, I'm actually going to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was mentioned that was something that you were thinking about.
No,
not as asking the permission.
Yeah, not asking,
but as in saying, you know what, this is what I'm going to do. But don't know when exactly. Like, you wanting to fly a plane, you'd mentioned that you know what, I'd love to experience.
I'd love to experience, and then I did it.
Yeah, and you did it around the time that you weren't even talking a lot about it, but it was mentioned.
Yeah, but I mentioned it to you. No one else.
No one else. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Those people that are close, that you socialize with, or that you spend a lot of time with. Just not asking their permission, but actually saying, you know what, I am going to do this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Only reason why I say that is when it comes to a point of that you are ready to make that change, it's like they're aware of, okay, that person, you've been thinking about this for a while, or that's something you wanted to do before.
Yeah.
So it could change the outcome. Maybe. I just put it out there.
But
I'm not saying I have an opinion.
I think it depends on who's in your circle. Because if let's just say, right, not everyone's lucky to have a lovely sister like Rita who's able to be the sounding board and give you the right insight and knows you well to encourage or say, okay, just think about these factors, but yeah, go for it anyway, knowing that you've got like calculated risk, for example. Yeah. So there are going to be certain individuals that unfortunately are going to socialize and have them in their circles, but they're not good people.
Yeah.
And these are the ones that I'm saying to you, don't tell them. Because I'm very lucky to have, obviously, like you, I've got a select couple of friends that I feel like I can definitely, not even soundboard to. I just do it anyway. But like, I would just say, oh yeah, this is what was happened, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
like a catch up.
Almost like, yeah, that's what's happened, not this is what I'm thinking of doing. Because I'm not looking for their input. I'm just saying this is what I've decided to do.
And I think that's it. You just hit the nail on the head. You're not looking for the input.
No, I'm just saying this is what I'm doing.
You've made that decision. And I think it's, again, coming back to this boundaries that we have to recognize in ourselves. Okay, saying this is important to me, so I'm going to try it regardless. And I've mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I'm sticking to it. It's like it's being able to walk with conviction. That's
it, exactly. Yeah, I think faith has a lot to do with that actually as well, because if I didn't have my faith, I wouldn't have conviction in my ideas, because I know where those ideas have come from and where the pillar is that it has caused me to stand up for myself, to believe in myself, to make sure that I've got a business that will then factor in my faith.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can practice my faith without feeling, is it inconvenient for someone? That's not what I'm about. So in actual fact, that's probably helped me develop more boundaries, not to be an inconvenience, because you're not an inconvenience. It doesn't matter what faith you are, you're not an inconvenience. But the point is that it helps you to develop that principle, that boundary, those pillars, so that you can stand for it. So you're not seeking their input, you're seeking we're seeking God's input, and we're saying, actually, yeah, that is the right thing to do. And I think that is the importance of setting boundaries, is that you've got validation from yourself. And, if you believe in God, you've got validation from God as well. And I think that's the importance here.
Yeah. And I think just, obviously, kind of like just to sum up, I think
she's cutting us off already, everyone.
But I think I just want to kind of leave food for thought, that we're not just expressing, but we're giving you something to come back to us on as well, if you've got questions about what we're talking about.
So
I'm not cutting you off, don't worry. But I think really it's about being true to yourself, and know it's okay to have boundaries.
And it's actually healthy.
It's respecting yourself.
The problem is, and exactly that. And we were debating on this topic: is it called respect or boundaries? But both of them come hand in hand.
And it's like, you respect the other person's opinion to take over yours. How about you respect your own opinion and take over their opinion of you and your decision to change?
Yeah. Again, and also with those that, if you do have a circle that do tend to hate on your ideas, or, kind of put you off, first of all, change your circle. That's probably what I'm going to say. Unless, obviously, it's a bad idea. Like, when I say bad, I mean, it's like harm to yourself and harm to others. And obviously, that's different. But I mean, like, something for you that is going to be good for you. If you've got people like that would laugh at it, or would say to you, no, I don't think you can do that. Are you serious? They'll give you that little smirk on their face.
Or they want company to continue doing what?
Yeah, because they want
best for them in terms of whatever.
If they're keeping you in a level of toxicity that you don't need, then this is why I say drop that circle and get some new friends. And that's absolutely fine to do that. You don't have to stay with someone or a circle of friends just because you have done for the last 40 years. You can make changes. But what it is about, setting the boundaries. If you need to say no to something because it is impacting your personal space, your personal well-being, your pillars, say no. If it's something that you do want to do and you do have capacity, then brilliant, say yes to it. only if it elevates you. So if you've listened to our first episode, we spoke about elevation. So say yes to the things that elevate you.
Yeah.
Elevate your pillars, for example.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
After this podcast, take some time out to think, what are your pillars?
Yeah, journal.
You don't have to come up with 5.
No, just as many as you can, even if it's just 1.
10, if you want.
Or 100. That's fine. That's a lot of pillars.
Pillars, values, whatever you want to call it. But just think about them. What are my values?
What means the most to you?
What are the things that are important to me that I have boundaries about? Like, no, this is... I don't even know. I'm losing the word now. Oh no!
Oh no! I forgot.
But what is important to you? That kind of like, if you didn't have it as something that you did every day, that it would kind of break down the foundation of who you are, and it would be like, that's not me. There's something missing, because you have foundations, and your pillars hold your foundation of you.
You're like a building.
They make you unique to you. Yeah. So maybe take some time out if you haven't thought about that, because it is sad how many people don't know what their values are.
And it's only until the very end they've completely lost themselves, and then they're having to rebuild and actually then build foundations and then the pillars to help with that. So I think exercise for you. Journal some boundaries, or values or pillars, or what is it that means the most to you, that if someone kept pushing and it would affect those values or pillars, that what would cause you to say no to that? So identify it, identify those pillars, identify that is a no-go area. You do not encroach on this particular part of my life.
And it's not a bad thing to have a boundary.
It's a good thing.
It's a good, healthy thing.
Absolutely. I think we've left them with enough food for thought. There's a lot of discussion there, which was great.
Feel free to rewind and listen again, just to gain clarity on it. And if you want to contact us,
absolutely,
feel free to contact us.
info@lifestylecombo.com. You'll see it in the description. So go ahead, contact us.
And if there's any topic they want us to cover,
feel free to let us know. I mean, we're already kind of thinking about different topics to cover over the course of this year, but any additional ones, feel free. We're happy to have an ad hoc chat about that, and it's always nice. We can kind of build this community, and don't forget, we are on Instagram and on TikTok. Please head to @lifestylecombo. So that's Mel signing out
and Rita signing out too.
Take care. Bye.